I pursued Ethan for 2 years. And dated him for 6 months. Yet it couldn't withstand his instant connection with my best friend Emily on my birthday. At their wedding, Emily made pointed remarks. I want to thank my dearest friend Jessica for helping me meet such a perfect Mr. Wilson. Fate always favors the most compatible people. And everything happens for the best. Meanwhile, suppressing the exhilaration roaring in my chest, I lowered my gaze with a tender smile. May you remain inseparable through all lifetimes. My best friend Emily got married. As the groom's ex-girlfriend and today's bridesmaid, I clearly heard the murmurs in the crowd when Ethan arrived with his groomsmen. Look. That's Jessica. Rumor says she chased the groom like a lovesick puppy for 2 whole years. Seriously? And she still came as bridesmaid? Talk about thick skin. Though honestly, any girl would want Ethan, tall, handsome, successful. Jessica? He never gave her the time of day. Obviously Emily's the better choice, homecoming queen since freshman year. Wealthy family. Total package. Exactly. Jessica's just some orphan with washed-out looks. Good grades won't save her from being Emily's eternal sidekick. Amidst the endless flattery, Emily tilted her chin like a regal swan, poorly concealed triumph flashing through her eyes as she feigned concern. Jessie. I calmly adjusted the intricate train of her wedding gown, helping her into the limousine. Don't worry, Emily. It doesn't bother me. Her solicitous tone chilled instantly. Good. I knew she wouldn't stop until she'd crushed my dignity beneath her designer heels. Our friendship had always been her stage to elevate herself by diminishing me. Having schemed to steal Ethan, only humiliating me completely would satisfy her victory. True to form, after exchanging vows and a lingering kiss, Emily thrust her bouquet at me with performative sweetness during the bouquet toss. Today marks my most perfect moment. I owe it all to my best friend Jessie for introducing me to my wonderful husband. May she find her own happiness soon. Her voice quivered with manufactured emotion, earning admiring sighs from guests. Ethan's gaze swept over me like I was roadside debris, though his fingers had once traced desperate patterns across my skin, murmuring Jessie between stolen breaths in dim rooms. We were 3 actors in a grotesque play. Only Emily knew about our 6-month relationship. Ethan had insisted on secrecy. Under the guests' smirking scrutiny, I caressed the micro button in my pocket, smiling beatifically. May your bond last beyond eternity. The wedding screen abruptly darkened, replaced by footage from the hotel's luxury suite. Gasps erupted as entangled bodies materialized, moans echoing through suddenly silent halls. The charismatic male voice matched our now pale wedding planners. Not bad, purred the woman between thrusts. Why not invite your apprentice next time? The man chuckled. He's shy. Can't get enough after last night with the photographer and me? Save energy for the groom tomorrow. Though blurred, the bedside display of Emily's custom diamond-encrusted gown left little doubt. Emily swayed like a broken marionette, hair suspended on mascaraed lashes. Ethan stood statue still, veins bulging. Someone muttered holy shit before the planner lunged to kill the feed. As saccharine music restarted, the room exploded into scandalized chaos. I inhaled the bouquet's fragrance, smiling. Emily and I met in high school, the golden girl versus the orphan scholarship student. Bullies found me ideal prey, no parents to complain. Teachers turning blind eyes. Glue in my water bottle. Vulgar nicknames. Mocking my thrift store clothes. Forged love letters posted publicly. Crimson ink staining my seat. Bathroom stall beatings. Why intervene? Better to appease 8 privileged students than protect one silent charity case. Until the day I was locked in the dim equipment room, Emily appeared surrounded by her entourage. Her meticulously applied makeup and salon-perfected hair gleamed under fluorescent lights as she gazed down at my shivering form. My uniform clung to skin mottled with bruises. Cropped hair hacked unevenly by scissors still clutched in her friend's hand. Poor little Jessica. She crooned. tapping my head like one might pat a stray. Water dripped from my bangs onto shoes still bearing sharp slurs. All those perfect grades can't wash away gutter stench. Feeling generous today, want to be my pet? I stared up at her glittering malice. Rainwater and humiliation burning twin trails down my cheeks. My nails carved half moons into palms as I nodded. Thus began my existence as Emily's shadow. She shielded me from locker shoves and lunchtime tripping, but demanded payment in servitude. I ate her cafeteria leftovers, intercepted love letters, became target practice for her moods, through rainstorms and concert queues, in maid costumes at debutante balls. I eroded, grades plummeting from S to DS after she accidentally spilled coffee on my midterm essay. Wouldn't want my pet outshining me. She'd laughed, twirling her iPhone 15 Pro. The diamond case winked as I swallowed arguments. College offered escape. Part-time jobs and financial aid got me through State University, where Ethan burned brighter than any campus star. Student council president. Scholarship darling. His smile could power lecture halls. I mapped his routines like sacred texts. Medicine during flu season. Courtside water bottles. Hand-knit scarves left in his dorm mailbox. Classmates snickered about Ethan's stalker, but I endured their sneers. When he finally agreed to attend an art exhibit for my birthday, I spent weeks planning outfits, checking weather apps, rehearsing conversation topics. He never came. 5 hours in December wind. Museum staff pitied cocoa in hand. Before his text, something came up. Later I learned his frat brothers had bets on how long I'd wait. For 2 years I orbited his light. On graduation night, I found him slumped in VIP lounge haze. His friends exchanged knowing looks as I draped my coat over him. Stayed till dawn. Jessica, he murmured when morning gilded his whiskey eyes. Why keep chasing? My fingers found the red bracelet he drunkenly gifted months prior. Hope. His laugh tasted like expensive bourbon. Let's try. The Campbell-Wilson wedding should have been Society Pages gold. Instead, leaked footage of bride and groomsmen in floral arrangement storage upended everything. Forum threads exploded, Emily's influencer status and the photogenic officiant's TikTok fame fueling wildfire speculation. I sipped orange juice, scrolling an anonymous vendor's exposé, 20 couples in 10 years. Grooms banging bridesmaids. Brides screwing videographers. $8,000 hush money transfers before brunch. My thumbnail clicked refresh as Emily stalked past. Veil askew. Still shrieking about Photoshop deepfakes. Across the ballroom, Ethan's gaze met mine. His raised champagne flute might have been salute or surrender. I smiled, tightening the bracelet he'd given when proposing, the same crimson thread now looped around 3 burner phones containing years of strategically leaked texts, Venmo trails, and that fateful storage room CCTV footage. After all, every dog eventually learns to bite back. The MC was notoriously known in the industry for living by the motto "only fools pass up free opportunities." He'd even proposition brides he found attractive, secretly recording their encounters as trophies for his collection. This time, his luck ran out when his latest conquest decided to air their private moment during the actual wedding reception. Ethan Wilson and Emily Campbell were now making their toast rounds, reaching my table. Both the Wilson family and the Campbell family sat stone-faced amidst the guests' buzzing whispers. Wasn't that the bride and the MC in the video? Obviously. You actually buy their accidental porn stream excuse? Even with blurred faces. That wedding dress in the background and their voices, it's unmistakable. Who knew sweet Emily had such wild secrets? Rumor says she had multiple boyfriends in high school. The newlyweds maintained strained smiles as I discreetly liked an exposé post before raising my glass. Congratulations, Emily. Ethan. Wishing you eternal happiness. Emily avoided eye contact, coughing violently into her drink. Ethan studied me with that familiar intense gaze. Fingers twitching at his side, our old secret signal meaning we need to talk. We'd secretly dated for 6 months. Though we shared intimacy, He'd never acknowledge me publicly. To the world, I remained Jessica Taylor, the pathetic doormat pining after unattainable Ethan. Only in darkness would he whisper Jess and kiss me like I mattered. I smirked, ignoring his silent plea. The moment he chose Emily over me, we became strangers. Slipping away post-reception, I transferred $500 to the MC's apprentice before blocking him. Ethan's calls lit up my phone within minutes. I silenced it, imagining the newlyweds' first night together. My dear Emily, may your wedding night be truly unforgettable. Soaking in my bathtub later, I mentally rehearsed next steps when Emily's tearful call came. Jess, please come help explain. Tell Ethan we were having pre-wedding girl talk that night. At their marital home, Ethan answered the door in a crisp white shirt, cigarette dangling from fingers. His gaze darkened at my damp hair. Jess. Mr. Wilson, I said coolly, attempting to pass. He gripped my wrist. Must we pretend to be strangers? Before I could respond, Emily materialized with poison sweetness, thrusting a porcelain bowl into my hands. Thank you for coming. Have some tea while we sort this out. The Campbell's shouts and Emily's fake sobs filled the air as I stared at the steaming liquid. My former lover's conflicted eyes and his wife's venomous smile told me everything. The real show was about to begin. Jessica turned pleading eyes to Ethan's parents. Mom. Dad. I'll explain everything later. Please just give Ethan and me some time alone. The presence of outsiders forced the older couple to prioritize decorum. With stormy expressions, they allowed Ethan to escort them out. Under Emily's enthusiastic hospitality, I drank half a bowl of bird's nest soup. As I tried to speak, sudden weakness flooded my limbs, leaving me slumped on the couch. Consciousness remained, but my body refused to obey. I watched Emily's smile dissolve into something predatory. My voice emerged thready with betrayal. Jess, what did you put in the soup? She tenderly tucked my hair behind an ear, her grin twisting. Just something to keep you cooperative. Jess. I'm desperate. Ethan knows that girl in the video was me. He'll never believe your innocence now. Her manicured nails traced my cheek. No matter how I begged, he wouldn't forgive me. But here's the deal, you've been dating 6 months yet remain untouched. I'll gift you our wedding night. After this, we'll be even. You wouldn't want your best friend becoming a divorced laughingstock, would you? Her whisper turned venomous. Besides, you recommended that MC. This mess is your fault. Before I could protest, Ethan re-entered. Silent and purposeful, he rolled up his sleeves. Revulsion churned my stomach as his hungry gaze raked over me. He lifted me like a bride, carrying me toward the marital bed. Emily's voice turned syrupy. Remember our deal, Ethan? After tonight, we start fresh. Get out. He growled without glancing at her. I caught Emily's fleeting snarl before she vanished. Ethan's fingers grazed my jaw. Jess. I twisted away. You cheated with Emily. What's this charade? His laugh held disturbing fervor. I never truly loved her. She dazzled me. But I regret it. Words spilled like dammed water breaking. You're the one, Jess. No one's ever loved me so completely. I wanted to marry you. But, his jaw tightened. Reality hit after college. Talent means nothing without connections. I worked triple shifts. Yet Nepo babies stole my promotions. My parents' pride, reduced to pity. His grip tightened. You're perfect, Jess. But can't open corporate doors. Emily's family has influence. I needed. So you're confessing to using her? I interrupted. Disgust flickered across his face. She's a common slut, slept with half the city. Unworthy. The mask of devotion returned. I'll divorce her once established. You'll be my proper wife. Just wait. My laugh cracked the tension. So I'm to be your mistress? He nodded earnestly. Only temporarily. For our future. The taser pressed against his ribs silenced him. Blue sparks danced in my eyes as he convulsed. Emily's absence muffled his screams. Listen well, Ethan. I hissed over his whimpers. You don't love me, you crave being worshipped. Emily offered glamour and connections. Yet her past galls you. Pathetic. The taser buzzed again. This won't kill you, just erase any notion that I'm your consolation prize. His choked gasp echoed as I increased voltage. Consider this, self-defense. He convulsed in agony before collapsing unconscious. His pants soaked through. Gasping for breath. I used the last of my strength to hog-tie him with an inescapable knot. Gag him. And stagger to deadbolt the door. Now no one could interfere. Releasing my teeth from the bite mark on my forearm. I slumped against the bed frame with a hollow smile. Knowing Emily and Ethan as I did, I never believed a simple girl's night excuse would allay Ethan's suspicions. I always prepare for worst-case scenarios. True to my understanding of human depravity. Their premarital affair had led them to conspire this fairness, violating me on what should have been my wedding night. The bird's nest soup bore no unusual taste. But during her college years battling bipolar disorder, Emily had become familiar with sedatives. The colorless, odorless triazolam she'd slipped me with its hypnotic, anxiolytic properties left no trace. Uploading voice recordings to multiple cloud drives. I traced the red bracelet on my wrist before surrendering to darkness. The attempted rape and Emily's complicity could land them over 3 years imprisonment. But this wasn't nearly enough. A decade in the making. My chess game wasn't ready for endgame. Patience, it's all I've had since losing everything. Dawn found Emily waiting in the wedding limo. Her gaze lingered on my trembling legs before she pasted on concern. Jessie, my palm cracked across her face with full force. She reeled. Tears welling instantly. Jessie. I'm sorry, punish me however. 7 more slaps rang out before she snarled. Catching my wrist. Enough. Such sincerity. Emily. I pried her manicured fingers loose one by one, walking away without backward glance. 4 weeks. Her messages oscillated between faux apologies and threats. You're my best friend. You understand my desperation. Right? Stop playing victim, you finally got your pathetic crush fulfilled. It was my wedding night. Watching my husband with his ex? Don't even think about police. Who'd believe a stalker over us? Smile for the cameras. Jessie. Unless you want your body plastered across porn sites. I smiled coldly at my reflection. As predicted, Ethan couldn't admit being electrocuted into unconscious incontinence. Far better for his pride to pretend consensual passion. As for Emily, her specialty had always been half-truths and slander. A seasoned liar. Typing calmly, of course I forgive you. You're my best friend. 3 months passed in toxic harmony. The Wilsons played happy newlyweds while Ethan's promotion hung in balance. Leaking rumors about his competitor's advantage kept him desperate. He groveled harder for Campbell family resources. Unaware their fortune had crumbled years ago. Emily's wealth was curated illusion, second-hand luxury goods. Rented sports cars. Credit card-funded Michelin dinners photographed from flattering angles. Her tarnished reputation in elite circles left Ethan, this mediocre striver, as the best she could trap. The help they could offer Ethan had long been limited. Yet Ethan remained deluded by fantasies of climbing the social ladder through his in-laws' resources. Such was the cruel disparity of reality. I edited the recorded audio from that night and sent it to Emily and her parents. Emily's nothing but a common slut who slept with at least 15 men. She's unworthy. Ethan's voice spat venom. I still need career advancement and her family's connections. I'll divorce that filthy woman eventually, she's not even worth casual flings. Emily nearly fainted from rage. Their explosive fight destroyed every piece of furniture in their marital home. While Emily attacked without restraint. Ethan held back until colleagues stared at the undignified claw marks scarring his face. I made sure news of Ethan's domestic abuse reached his rural parents. The elderly couple stormed in, beating Emily until she lost a tooth and miscarried their early-stage pregnancy. Simultaneously, Ethan lost his election amid bribery scandals, evidence only someone intimate could have obtained, destroying his career. Their golden couple facade crumbled into mortal enmity. When Emily filed for divorce, the disgraced Ethan refused, still clinging to hopes of inheriting the Campbell wealth. Their daily brawls became society's favorite joke until 3 months later, a nose splintered Emily with fractured arm sued while Ethan lost an eye to beer bottle shrapnel. During pre-trial proceedings, Ethan pushed Emily down stone steps. Panicking, he tried dismembering her unconscious body. Her agonized screams during the knee amputation brought police. I watched ambulances speed away, fingertips brushing my phone's emergency call log. Ethan received 15 years for attempted murder. Emily became a bedridden invalid capable only of guttural noises. Their scandal dominated headlines, the gold-digging abuser and entitled party girl, until fresher gossip emerged. The Campbells retreated from society, eventually pursuing IVF for new heirs under my encouragement. They stopped visiting Emily's nursing home months ago. On a sunny morning, I entered her room. The startled caregiver closed the door, ignoring Emily's bedsores. I smoothed her matted hair. I've waited years for this. Her eyes tracked me desperately. Was Ethan worth destroying Ryan's life? The teacher you falsely accused of molestation. I kissed the red bracelet from my wrist, Ryan's memorial band. He was my brother. Ryan Anderson was 8 years older than me. The big brother figure at the group home. Unlike other defensive kids covered in metaphorical thorns, he carried himself with gentle grace, handsome features softened by perpetual kindness. Eyes holding the quiet wisdom of someone who'd seen too much too young. He became the sole golden thread woven through the gray tapestry of my childhood. When I first arrived at the orphanage as a malnourished 4-year-old with speech delays and night terrors, 12-year-old Ryan shielded me from bullies. He'd clean gravel from my skinned knees using his own ration bandages, split his oatmeal cookies with me behind the storage shed, and spend hours teaching me phonics through dog-eared picture books. For 3 years, he patiently coaxed sunlight into my shadowed world until I could finally laugh without flinching. During our secret reading sessions behind the boiler room, he'd smooth my tangled hair and whisper dreams of becoming a teacher. I want to help kids like us grow into amazing adults, he'd say, tracing the words in his tattered copy of Charlotte's Web. I never told him he'd already succeeded, that his quiet strength made me believe goodness could exist even in our broken world. But the universe extinguished that light during Ryan's 3rd month as a student teacher. Emily, then an 8th grader with prematurely sharpened claws beneath her Catholic school plaid, accused him of sexual misconduct after he rejected her relentless advances. The privileged middle schooler's tearful testimony, Mr. Anderson touched me under the desk, collided catastrophically with society's bias against foster system alumni. I still remember the police dragging him from our weekly reading circle at the group home, his calm reassurances drowned by Emily's theatrical sobs. The subsequent media frenzy painted Ryan as some monster preying on innocent youth. When they found Ryan's body in the river clutching his teaching certificate, the internet celebrated with hashtags like #TrashTookItselfOut. For 6 months, I carried a lock of his hair braided around my wrist while scrubbing profanities off his grave marker. Each crimson smear of spray paint over his name fueled my resolve. Emily would learn what happens when you break something precious. At 16, I strategically enrolled in Emily's elite high school and became the battered stray she couldn't resist adopting. Be my pet project, she purred during orientation, mistaking my flinches for awe. I let her parade me around like some rescued mutt, cataloging every vulnerability behind her designer armor. When Ethan transferred into our university, the way his sweater vest caught the library light exactly like Ryan's old cardigan made my breath hitch. I began casually mentioning the pre-law student's compassionate nature and dedication to underprivileged youth during Emily's weekly manicures. Her predatory smile confirmed the trap was set. What Emily didn't know, what nobody knew, was that beneath Ethan's debate team polish festered the same rot that had destroyed Ryan. Last night's birthday dinner revealed everything. As Emily preened over her gold-rimmed cocktail, I watched Ethan's gaze linger hungrily on her Cartier bracelet. His fingers twitched with the same restless greed I'd seen while he comforted tearful freshmen outside the financial aid office. The game board is set. Emily's obsession with reliving her middle school conquest. Ethan's hunger for status by proxy. My decade of carefully curated revenge scripts waiting in the wings. Let them think this is about teenage drama, soon they'll learn what happens when you awaken sleeping monsters. The moment those two kindred spirits locked eyes, sparks flew. Their gazes lingering, Emily shyly lowered her head, revealing a slender blush, pale neck. Ethan seemed momentarily transfixed. I pretended not to notice, taking a sip of my lemon water with a smile that didn't reach my eyes. After that, with my subtle encouragement, the real show began. Ryan's lock of black hair braided into the red cord had long since dried brittle. Emily stared at me with wide, bloodshot eyes as I fastened the cord around her wrist, shaking her head desperately while muffled sobs escaped her gagged mouth. Smiling, I flipped my phone camera to selfie mode, forcing her to confront her own gaunt reflection. Emily, I whispered near her ear. Should I send Ryan to keep you company? Your parents already threw you away. They're trying to conceive another healthy child now. You'll rot like forgotten trash in some dark corner, exactly what you deserve. Maybe during sleepless nights, you'll finally apologize to Mr. Anderson. Rising, I calmly watched her crumpled form twitch on the floor, her mangled hands clumsily pawing at the red cord. When the nurse rushed in at the commotion, I offered my most innocent smile. She seems agitated. Perhaps sedatives? The attendant glanced disdainfully at Emily's drool-streaked face before pocketing my envelope. Don't worry, Jessica. We'll take good care of her. Excellent. I blew Emily a kiss. Rest well, darling. I'll visit again soon. The drab nursing home shrank in my rearview mirror as warm wind whipped through my hair, squinting against the blazing sunlight. I exhaled deeply. Summer had arrived. It was time to move forward.